Have you ever gotten to the end of the month, looked at your bank account, and just wondered, where did all the money go? You didn't make any huge purchases, no fancy vacations, no designer splurges. Yet somehow you're struggling to make ends meet. It feels like you're running faster and faster on a treadmill, but you're not getting anywhere. If this sounds familiar, I want you to know you're not going crazy. There's a silent, invisible force at play, and it's quietly eating away at your hard-earned income. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on this hidden drain on your finances. We all know what traditional inflation looks like. The price of gas goes up, the cost of a gallon of milk jumps, and you see it right there on the price tag. It's obvious, and it's frustrating. But the kind of inflation we're talking about today is much more subtle, much more deceptive. It doesn't announce itself with big, scary numbers on a news broadcast. Instead, it creeps into your life through the back door, disguised as the everyday products and services you've always bought. This is the world of shrinkflation and skimpflation, and it's the secret tax on the middle class. Let's start with shrinkflation. It's a simple but brilliant tactic. Instead of raising the price of a product, companies just give you less of it. The package looks the same, the price tag hasn't changed, but the contents have mysteriously shrunk. Think about that family-size bag of chips you always buy. Does it feel a little lighter these days? That's not your imagination. A couple of years ago, it might have been 15 ounces. Today, it's 13 ounces, but you're still paying the exact same price. Or how about your favorite brand of orange juice? The carton might have a new, sleeker design, but look closely. It's gone from 64 fluid ounces down to 59, or even 52. This isn't just happening with snack foods, it's everywhere. Toilet paper rolls are getting narrower, with fewer sheets per roll. That pint of ice cream is now only 14 ounces. The number of laundry pods in a container has dropped from 42 to 38. Even your bar of soap might be a little smaller, with a new curve or dimple molded into it to save on material. Each individual instance seems so small, so insignificant that we barely notice. A few less chips, a little less juice, who's going to make a fuss about that? But that's precisely the point. It's designed to fly under your radar. Companies know that consumers are price-sensitive. We have a mental anchor for how much a box of cereal or a jar of coffee should cost. A sudden price hike of 15% would cause an uproar. People would switch brands or complain online. But a 15% reduction in quantity, most of us won't even notice. We'll just run out of it a little sooner and put it on the shopping list again. We're unknowingly buying the same products more frequently, and our total spending creeps up without us ever connecting the dots. It's death by 1,000 paper cuts for your household budget. Over the course of a year, these small changes add up to hundreds, even thousands of dollars that have vanished from your bank account. But shrinkflation is only half the story. Its sneaky cousin is skimpflation. This is when the size or quantity of a product stays the same, but the quality of the ingredients or the service goes down. Your favorite chocolate bar might still be the same size, but the company has swapped out some of the expensive cocoa butter for cheaper vegetable oils. The result? It just doesn't taste as rich or satisfying as you remember. That budget-friendly frozen pizza used to be loaded with pepperoni. Now you have to search for it. Skimpflation also runs rampant in the service industry. Have you noticed that hotels are less likely to offer daily housekeeping unless you specifically request it? They call it a green initiative to save water, but it's also a great way for them to save on labor costs. Airlines have been masters of this for years. Legroom shrinks, free checked bags disappear, and even a bottle of water can cost you extra. You're still paying for a flight from point A to point B, but the quality of that experience has been systematically degraded over time. Think about customer service. Remember when you could call a company and speak to a real human being within a few minutes? Now, you're often forced to navigate a maze of automated menus, chat with a bot that doesn't understand your problem, and wait on hold for what feels like an eternity. The company is still providing customer service, but the quality has plummeted. They've skimped on a crucial part of their offering to cut costs, leaving you frustrated and wasting your valuable time. When you combine shrinkflation and skimpflation, you start to see the full picture. We are paying the same amount or even more for products that are smaller, lower quality, and services that are less helpful and less convenient. This isn't a market fluctuation, it's a deliberate strategy. Companies are facing their own rising costs for raw materials, shipping, and labor. Instead of being transparent and raising prices and risking losing customers, they take the backdoor approach. They quietly reduce the value you receive, hoping you won't notice. And for the most part, it works. We're all busy. We have jobs, kids, and a million other things to worry about. Who has the time to weigh their bag of coffee beans or count the number of tissues in every box? We rely on a certain level of trust with the brands we've been loyal to for years. But that trust is being exploited. We are being conditioned to accept less for more. The standard of living that your income used to afford you is no longer attainable with that same income, because the very definition of a dollar's worth has been secretly changed. So what can we do about it? The first and most important step is awareness. We have to become conscious consumers. Start paying attention. When you're at the grocery store, don't just look at the price tag. Look at the unit price, the price per ounce, per pound, or per 100 sheets. This is often listed in smaller print on the shelf label. It's the great equalizer. It cuts through the confusing packaging and tells you exactly what you're getting for your money. You might be surprised to find that the big, family-size box is actually more expensive per ounce than the smaller one. Become a brand-agnostic shopper. Your loyalty should be to your own wallet, not to a corporation. If your favorite brand starts shrinking its product, it's time to explore other options. Try the store brand. Often they are made in the same factories as the name brands and offer much better value. Read reviews and compare ingredients. If a company has swapped out quality ingredients for cheap fillers, vote with your dollars and switch to a competitor who hasn't. We also need to talk about it. Share this information with your friends and family. Post a picture of a half-empty chip bag on social media and tag the company. When consumers start calling out these practices publicly, it creates pressure. Companies hate bad press, and if enough people start noticing and complaining, they might think twice before shrinking their next product. Consumer advocacy groups and journalists play a huge role here by investigating and reporting on these trends, bringing them into the spotlight. Finally, take control of your own finances. If your purchasing power is eroding, you have two choices: increase your income or decrease your spending. We've been focusing on the spending side by being smarter shoppers, but it's also a powerful reminder of the importance of financial literacy. Building an emergency fund, investing for the long term, and finding ways to increase your earning potential are more critical than ever. We can't control what companies do, but we can control how we prepare and react. This isn't about being cynical or paranoid. It's about being smart. It's about recognizing that the economic game has subtle rules that aren't always explained to us. This invisible inflation is a real and significant force impacting middle-class families everywhere. It's making it harder to save, harder to get ahead, and harder to maintain the lifestyle we've worked so hard for. By opening our eyes, paying attention, and making conscious choices, we can fight back. We can reclaim some of that lost value and ensure our money is working for us, not silently disappearing into the pockets of companies who think we aren't paying attention. Let's prove them wrong. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more content on how to navigate the modern economy. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's the worst case of shrinkflation you've seen lately? Let's share our findings and help each other out. See you next time.